What's going on, guys? Evan the MechWarrior Online enthusiast here, bringing another MechWarrior Online gameplay commentary. And this time we're going to be playing a little bit of the VPR-B, which is part of the very underwhelming Viper chassis. So, think about the Vipers in a nutshell are essentially that they have a lot of lock jump jets, right? You're on a medium chassis, you've got lock jump jets, and you basically wind up having major tonnage problems on most of your builds. You wind up keeping most of the omnipods because you want the quirks that are on the mech, at least until quirks are reset here soon. So this one has ER-PPC velocity and laser range. So both of these are pretty useful quirks, but the issue, right, is ER-PPC is pretty heavy at 6 pounds, same as a pulse laser. Makes a lot of heat, so without any heat quirks, this mech winds up overheating pretty quick when you boat a PPC, but 50% velocity is a pretty substantial quirk, really, because the travel time of PPCs is really the thing that I think holds them back as a weapon system. That and spotty hit detection, but I can't do anything about that. Essentially, as we move forward piloting this mech, the laser here is just for a little bit of added damage, helps fill up the tonnage a little bit. But more importantly, like, if I strip both the armor off these arms here, because that's like the wasted tonnage, right? You know, one more off the head. It's not nearly enough for me to actually move towards putting anything on the mech, like another heat sink, say. Like, the only way to put another heat sink on the mech would really be drop tonnage on the legs, the arms, and the head. It wouldn't really place anywhere except into an arm due to slot limitations, because we have so many lock jump jets. In other words, this is like a little jumping medium that, while fun to play, basically sucks. It's like super low tier. One thing you can do, just be the run PPC on one side of the mech, dead side the other, and put probably another heat sink in there in place of the laser, which, I guess that'd be okay, but the biggest issue with that build would be if the PPC ever is destroyed, you're just completely stripped. At least this way, you're probably going to be able to keep fighting until you're actually dead, which, on this mech, I think is a big deal. You wind up wanting to vote for / play maps that have a lot of verticality, so you can abuse your jump jets. It's like Grimplexus, there isn't anything to really stand on top of, nothing amazing. River City has good things to stand on top of, but overall River City is not a very popular map. Plexus, however, is. Therma's fine too, but you're going to have heat problems, same with Desert. But Desert has a lot of hills and walls you can stand behind. You're probably not going to put out like insanely high damage numbers in this mech, so you end up focusing a lot of your time on harassing and getting people to fire back at you. Since PPCs do disable ECM now for a considerable length of time, coupled with the fact that you are firing from pretty significant range, the mech can annoy your opponents to death, because getting struck by a PPC tends to have a certain psychological effect. It has a lot of front-loaded damage, but the Viper sort of is, while not a very good mech to begin with, in the current meta, which is, this is an upload right after the weekend of MechCon, which was amazing, by the way. Admittedly, the event was not run with a high level of technical, prowess. The panels were excellent, and the finals were fun to watch, but a lot of mechs are boating, 2 PPCs, 1 Gauss, or 2 Gauss, 1 PPC, so you're going to have a lot of mechs that can return fire on you at the same range you can fire from, and your mobility just isn't as useful against mechs that have a lot of long-range armaments. This mech, however, is pretty good about preying on larger, slower-moving mechs. Thankfully, I am seeing a good bit of folks piloting the AC-2 machine gun ultraviolet or standard Atlas brawlers, things like that. And you are well positioned to just unload PPC fire on those type of players. You also function as a reasonable scout because you can jump jet, out of line of sight. But this is public matchmaking where the impact scouts can have is somewhat limited. With the skill tree reset, piloting Vipers is less rewarding than it was previously. At one time, I wanted to have at least one mastered version of every chassis, but now there's just not a whole lot of reason to do so. With the quirk reset, you don't even get to see it on the skill tree, so. A lot of new mechs coming out, though, that I've pre-purchased. The next one is the Marauder IIC, which I am super excited for. I anticipate playing a lot of that mech once it drops. I might even try to master all of them under the current tree. Very few mechs have I mastered everything in the tree. I've mastered every Raven in the game, at least one variant of every Raven. I think I've mastered a lot of the Warhammers. My problem is I tend to just play one mech for long stretches, right? It would be a more effective use of my time to like play, get my win bonus for the day, and move on to another mech. That's how overall you build up the most XP. 2 games to the price of 1, but I wind up finding the MechLab UI to be kind of slow and clunky. Not nearly as clunky as it used to be, but still slow enough that I don't feel like inclined to sit there long term. Of course, both my weapons are torso mounted, so they're higher than my arms, but I don't have the maneuverability of an arm laser. So this is River City, and because we have so many jump jets, I do get to do fun things like go on top of the Citadel right at the start of the match. I do have advanced zoom, but I don't have radar derp. No one's trying to cross the ocean here. Ow! Alright, I've been spotted. Time to relocate before I get absolutely wrecked by long-range weaponry. Missed him. It's a Phoenix Hawk, so he's fast too. Yeah, this is what I was talking about, where I'm getting spotted out by a lot of like long-range firepower. Tunnel vision through advanced zoom is also not helpful. So much cover. I'm actually gonna be dead before I even shoot somebody. Alright, that guy I think actually won the trade on finally. I'm reluctant to jump jet on top of the Citadel, especially with that Kodiak 3 out there, which I pretty much guarantee you is voting. Yeah. So much like Gauss crap going on right now. We might try to Pop-Tart a little bit, but they're already like pre-scoping my position a lot, so I'm likely to lose trades. And of course it's River City, so it's going to be night soon. I suck at night. I have really bad like vision compensation. I think I just basically blew up the wall there. Well, I'll get my assist points, I guess. Oh gosh. Ow. Dang. He's got an ER-PPC and a Gauss. Ooh, God. Alright. This is probably not the position for me anymore. But I'm concerned about how I'm going to get out of here without just getting cored out. Sort of trap myself in the Citadel. Alright, let's try it. God, it's mech. Ah! Yes! Alright. That is our new use of time right there. He's jump jetting up. Gross. It's like the most inefficient damage delivery ever. Of course, it's pokey from behind all the buildings too. Trying to jump jet a little bit and spare my legs the damage. Wait, what? Cicada on a commando mission, huh? Don't get rear CT cord. Alright. Got a lot of jump jets to jump around inside the city. Where are you, Cicada friend? I know he's back here somewhere, it's just a matter of catching him. I see you, Cicada player, and I will go over every mountainous area on this map to get you. Wow, is he smart enough to know I'm all torso mounted? As if so, that's crazy.
Left torso critical damage. Fuel at 25%. Warning, incoming missile. Fuel at 0%.
Nah!
Critical damage.
Mouty!
New target acquired. Target acquired. Target acquired.
Whoa.
New target acquired.
I'm just gonna leave that Lake Cicada back there to die at the end. He won't be rejoining the fight in any reasonable amount of time.
Acquired. New target.
I'm more excited that he's legged back there than
New target acquired.
could be more useful elsewhere, I think.
Target acquired. Target acquired.
Yeah, we've lost anyway.
Acquired. New target acquired.
And Cicada jacked me up pretty good. Missed a lot of PPC shots, which really was bad for me.
Target acquired.
Alright.
Target acquired. New target acquired. New target acquired.
Wait, did I just get team killed?
Warning, incoming missile. New target.
Apparently this Wyvern guy's mad.
New target acquired.
Good twist. God, he still has Artemis. No! Alright, good try. Yeah, we just completely lost. Wow. I didn't really have a very good game there, but also playing this mech is actually really boring, I gotta say. I mean, the fact that that cicada's still alive too is like super annoying. LRM Warhammer, the saddest thing of all time. Shooting at the legs of a cord mech, not exactly ideal. Alright, this Atlas is just wrecking everybody. Stripped him, but yeah. GG. The worst thing in the world. Yeah, but not that time, my friend. Not that time. Alright, well, that was miserable. Hopefully the next match is a little more rewarding. Missed a lot of like key shots there on that cicada. Which I don't know, it is what it is, right? Grumble, grumble, grumble. It's interesting sometimes, like the mechs that get released into like MechWarrior Online. It's another thing that the mechs are not equal, right? Like, this, you know, most mechs, I'm sure you can make anything work, but for the majority, like, once you start to fall, like, you know, it's not like a fighting game, right? So if you talk about tier lists in fighting games, you have like high tier, you know, middle tier, low tier, say. Like in a fighting game, unless you're playing against really strong opponents, the tier list doesn't really mean that much, right? Like, whereas on this game, a low tier mech is just objectively bad, right? Like, there's no reason to pilot it other than just you own it and you want to use it, or it's interesting. And I think would have the number of mechs that are in MechWarrior Online, it's unreasonable to think they're all going to be, you know, balanced, but there are just a lot of chassis that just suck, right? Like Ice Ferret sucks, Viper sucks, Adder doesn't suck as hard, but kind of sucks. Just a lot of mechs that just, there's really no objectively a good reason to pilot them other than the fact that you have them and it's something to grind out. So I sort of fell into the whale mentality at some point in this game where I started buying like all the mechs that get released because I want to try piloting them and it's, you know, it's fun. Turns out that was really silly because a lot of these mechs are more of like a chore to play than they are necessarily satisfying. So, you know, the Viper is a great example of that, where there are matches in the Viper that are fun. I mean, they're just super inconsistent, right? Like, you're talking about a mech that has to emphasize like the use of jump jets to be effective and has really bad tonnage, and the best Viper builds all seem to be like a bunch of like, I don't know, like medium pulse lasers and jump jets, and you just jump jet around and pulse laser people. Like, it's silly. Like, when you start to have a medium mech that's got most of its tonnage locked into jump jets, it's just bad, right? Like, other than like the really high tier mediums, I find mediums to actually be like among the worst chassis in the game. Like, so it's one thing if you're in like a Hunchback IIC, right? Or like a Blackjack. Like mechs that are quirked out of their minds, have great hard points, just all around super efficient at the tonnage. Like, it's really awesome. But when you have mechs with like 6 lock jump jets and things like that, they become so grossly inefficient at their tonnage, there's just not a whole lot of reason to pilot them. And there's... there is ways to use them, but pretty much just not going to be easy games in them. Command wheel, boys. Best PGI innovation ever. Ah, I'm getting PPC'd.
At 25%.
The other thing with this mech is it's super fragile, so I really need to move around and not stop and hold a position to try to PPC. But like, there's only so many good spots to like jump jet to. You know, when people are in firing lines just looking long range versus long range, it's hard to identify targets. I'm also having like a whiteout here visually. I'm looking around. I just see snow. Advanced zoom continues to disappoint because the sensitivity gets kind of cockeyed. Yeah, I actually have no idea where we're rotating to or going right now. F6. They're all going towards our spawn. Alright, time to PPC them and annoy them. Crazy thing is that's the quirk projectile speed, right? That's right, you give up that firing position. I will annoy you to death. Whoops. Ow. This is a long and arduous process. Oh god, he sees me. Ah, too slow. Wait. Is there a guy down here? Got him. That's a light too, so that'll actually sting him a little bit more.
Target acquired.
His ECM's broken. Raven coming in. Dang. The life of PPC poking, right? Whoops. Apparently the PPC is clipping the building over and over and over and over.
Target acquired. Warning. New target acquired.
Time to go. This has been interesting.
New target.
Now I want nothing to do with this.
Target destroyed.
Wow.
Target
Spoke.
acquired. New target.
Uh-oh.
Target acquired. Incoming missile.
You don't have radar derp. Getting locked is the worst in the world. Alright, time to go. Too much fighting there.
Target acquired. New target acquired.
Oh, he's got a Gauss rifle. Oh, it's a Zeus.
New target acquired. New target acquired. Heat level critical.
Alright, let's just cool off for a minute.
New target acquired. Heat level critical. Heat level critical. Target destroyed.
That was totally my kill, too. Is that a Battlemaster? What is that?
New target acquired. Target acquired. Target acquired.
Alright, let's go over here on this rotation.
New target acquired. New target acquired.
Oh, it's a gridiron.
New target acquired. Target acquired.
Nope. Time to go.
New target acquired. New target acquired. New target acquired.
Ah, God. Alright, I've been spotted. Locked.
New target acquired.
I'm gonna return the favor to that guy back there.
New target acquired. New target acquired.
So much tonnage in all these mechs, dude.
New target acquired.
Could've worked really hard to
New target acquired.
get out of here.
Target acquired. Target acquired. Right torso
Ooh,
critical down.
ow.
New
Alright,
target
I've made
acquired.
way too many. Okay. Stupid LRM boats. Alright.
Target acquired.
There is a Raven running around back here. I want to get him.
Acquired. Target acquired.
I want that Raven. Give me that Raven. If got low heat, I can get him.
Target acquired.
Oh, that feels
New
good.
target acquired. Target destroyed. New target.
Oh, this is a good match.
Heat level critical.
Come here, Battlemaster friend. Definitely a lot of PCC spammerino there. Ugh. To be fair, though, they basically got wrecked. Yeah, like 6 KMDs, 10 assists, 2 killing blows. Like, this is a good sit. I really like this match, so. A lot of work, though. Like, working really hard to get not a lot out of it, but yeah, I enjoyed that a great deal. So we might have all the basics done on this mech, at which point we are probably done piloting it, because as interesting as that match was, I very much look forward to retiring this Viper. 7K. Let's see. Wow, despite all of that, we still need like 400 more XP in order to... Medusa's got all its basics done. Yeah, still need 400 XP, and then we will have successfully meshed with the VPR-B. So, something to do next time. So I hope you all enjoyed the video. If you could rate or comment on the video, that would be helpful. It does help these videos get a little bit of exposure, and I wouldn't mind having a little more viewership. But for those of you that did watch, I appreciate it, and have a great day.